So this is where I am right now, and this is not in Cornwall, this is in Calgary. It is in Kananaskis country. I came out for a weekend, but I didn't feel like filming a vlog. So I thought that I have been getting lots of questions about my college, and I just completed my 2-year program. So I felt like this is the correct time to review it, and this is the nice location for a background. So here we go. Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing great. So I just finished my studies in St. Lawrence College, and from the very beginning when I started uploading on this channel, my second video was regarding my college orientation, and to my surprise I have been getting lots of questions about my college, about my campus, and like how the studies are there, whether studies are easy or not, or whether you can find a decent part-time job and cheap accommodation there. So I will be talking about everything in this video, and I am gonna make this video in English just because I have not been getting questions only from the Indians. There were 2-3 people from other countries. I had one person asking me about the college from Israel, also from Brazil and Istanbul. Yeah, Istanbul, there was one girl from Istanbul, so I thought making this video in English would be more helpful. So yeah, first let's talk about my situation, like what my course was and how I ended up in that college, and how my life was there for the 4 months for which I stayed in Cornwall. Then I came here in Calgary when studies went online. So yeah, I came to Cornwall in December. So I landed in Canada on 18th of December, and I landed in Montreal. And if you are going to come in Cornwall, St. Lawrence, I would say that you should rather go to Montreal than going to Toronto airport, because Montreal is way near than Toronto, and you can arrange accommodation very easily rather than going to Toronto. But if you have someone in Toronto, then yeah, for sure you can go for it. But I would say if you are alone, then try to land yourself in Montreal. So yeah, I landed in Montreal, and hopefully I was having one of my siblings there in Montreal, and he received me there. And then I went to his apartment, and I stayed there for 2 days. So this is how I ended up arranging my first 2 days of accommodation here in Canada. He taught me everything about like how to get SIN number and everything, and I went to Service Canada myself and got my SIN number, and then I went to Scotiabank and I got my GIC running as well. So yeah, now the question arises that how should you go from Montreal to Cornwall? And I should also tell you that I'm strictly gonna talk about Cornwall campus. There are 3 campuses of St. Lawrence College. One is in Brockville, another one is in Kingston, and the third one in which I came was in Cornwall. So I do not know anything about any other 2 campuses, and I think the courses are also offered by Alpha Academy, and I do not know anything about it. So rather you guys not ask any question about those colleges. If you have any question about my own campus, yeah, I'm more than happy to help you guys. So yeah, so how I arrange my accommodation from Montreal to Cornwall, which is like nearly 180 kilometers. So what I did was that I was searching here and there that how I can go there, and I found an application which is known as Popa Ride, Popa, Popa Ride. It is a kind of ride share application which let you meet new people who are going that way, and they can take you with them. And what you have to do is there is a certain price like $20, maybe $30. I think I paid $18, and I reached Cornwall finally there. And uh, fortunately I even found someone in Cornwall. Like there was a friend who used to live there, and they were the ones who let me live in their house for like 2 days, and then they arranged accommodation for me themselves. And then I finally started living in the house where I was going to be. So yeah, now the question arises is that how you could be arranging any accommodation in Cornwall. See, the most common resource for finding any kind of accommodation in Canada is Kijiji. Kijiji is like all in the one application which will help you finding not only your accommodation but also your part-time jobs and another different things if you wanna looking for buy some old furniture, books or anything like that. It is like second-hand application, but jobs and accommodation are also posted on that. So if you somehow are able to make up to Cornwall and you are staying in some kind of hotel, or maybe you have some sort of temporary accommodation, how you can find accommodation like a permanent accommodation is by using Kijiji. And you can even use college's own website. When you will go on St. Lawrence College Cornwall, there is a section for accommodation where local people usually post their stuff, but I would prefer rather not to go there because the all the accommodations there are way too much expensive. They charge like 600-700 for a single room, whereas if you want to find a decent single room, maybe you can find up to 400-450. And if you want to live in sharing, you can maybe find a decent room up to like 300-350. If I talk about myself, like how much my rent was, I never paid more than $250 in Cornwall because for all the 4 months when I lived there, the houses in which I lived were like really really broken. They were really old, and I used to live in sharing with like 5-6 people with me. See, the whole motive was not to live a luxurious life because it didn't have a lot of money. The whole motive was to save money. Therefore, I somehow managed to live in broken houses. That was the houses were not that too broken, but they were old. Yeah, they were not decent, I would say. The kind of house I live right now, it is very good. Now, since you have found your accommodation hopefully somehow in Cornwall, now the second most important thing which people try to find before their college start is a decent part-time job. Now in Cornwall, I would not say there are like a ton of jobs. There are jobs which you can find, but not easily. If the time when you arrive there are like lots of international students in Cornwall, then you might find a great difficulty finding even a decent 20-hour job. But if at the time when you arrive at Cornwall there are not like lots of international students, then you might find a job really easily, and you might find a job on cash as well. So yeah, it isn't really difficult to find a job there. Like as I told you, it really depends upon how much time, like how much students are there at the time when you are finding a job. But I shall also discuss like 4 or 5 places where you can find a job, like where you can apply online. And these are the places where most of students work in Cornwall. So the first place is Olimal. Olimal is like a meat cutting plant. There are two kinds of job in that meat cutting plant. One, you can directly get involved in cutting the meat and like in production of meat. Those jobs are mostly during daytimes, and you can apply them online, or either you can go to that plant yourself and you can drop your resume. There is a bus which is known as Business Park. That bus will take you to that Olimal food plant, and you can go there and drop your resume, and you can apply online as well. Make sure that if you know someone who is already working there, you can you want to write their name as a reference on your resume. The second place where most of people work is Walmart, either in Walmart Supercenter or in Walmart Logistics. So Walmart Supercenter is a kind of supermarket. Walmart is like the biggest supermarket of Canada and USA. So if you want to apply there online, even you can watch one of my videos which I have linked down in the description. It will tell you how to apply online at Walmart. The work at Walmart is like super easy, and they pay good prices as well. And more than that, you have like opportunity of getting raised there, whereas all the other jobs you would not get a raise very easily. And the third place is, I would say, is the local restaurants and food franchises. Most of the international students in Cornwall Cornwall, they work at either stores or at food franchises like McDonald's, A&W, Subway, KFC, etc. They are the places which hire most of the international students because their schedules are like really different from the other places, so they need more part-time guys rather than having more full-time guys. There are certain number of jobs in Cornwall which I would say which are like only part-time, and if you are going at a time, if you went to the correct place at correct time, you meet correct person and you know what to say and what not to say, you might find a job in like 2-3 days. If I talk about myself, what was my first job in Cornwall, then I also worked in a restaurant which was named as Taco Bell. The restaurant just opened like a week before I joined. And how I found that job, well, I was actually wandering around in a town with one of my buddy, and we were just simply sitting in a pizza place. We ordered a pizza and we just sat there to have it. And there was one sick person, like someone like myself, turban person, and usually you don't see turban people really easily in Cornwall. And he like said hi to me, and he started talking me about like how I am, like where I had come and whether do I have a job or not. And when he asked about job, I said no, that we are finding job. And fortunately, like it won't happen with you, it won't happen with anyone. That person was a manager of a store, and he offered us the job on the spot. Like we were sitting at a pizza place and we were eating a pizza there, and we found a job without like even going to that place. We didn't even know that there is some restaurant named Taco Bell in Cornwall. So yeah, we found a job like that. So yeah, you might not hesitate to communicate with people all around you. You might want to talk with them, ask them where all the jobs are and how you can find them. The most common way to find a job is by getting in touch with someone who is local and someone who has lived there for more than a year or so, because they can help you more than this video, because they might be working somewhere and they might want to leave that place, and they can have you join that place instead in their place. So yeah, this is how you can find a job in Cornwall. And if I talk about the third thing, like how much would your expenses be in Cornwall? So your accommodation could be anywhere between 300 to 500 depending on like how is the kind of house in which you are living, and also like whether you are living on sharing basis or you have your own personal room. And then after that, your phone bill also depends on you, like how much bigger plan you have taken, whether you bought a new phone on a deal or everything. But I would say that my monthly expenses there were like $600, not more than that. And I used to like I used to spend really less amount of money because I was really poor at that time. I would say I had to pay my fees myself, like most of you might would have to, and therefore I want to save every penny so that I could be able to pay my fees myself. So yeah, this was all about accommodation and about finding a job in Cornwall. You can find a job, no worries, like, but you need to communicate with people. You need to communicate with people of your kind, international students who are there from like previous semesters. So yeah, finally let's come to our college, like how the college is itself. Now I would say that now I have completed 1 year and 4 months of study in that college. My program is equivalent to 2 year of study, so I will get 3 year work permit, which I am gonna apply today because I just got my letter of completion today from my college. And so my course was computer networking, and I will tell you a little bit about that course. Most of you might be taking that course because it was like most popular course in that college. Most of the people who I met there were from my course. They used to sit with me in my class. So that course, I would say, if you have like really little amount of knowledge about computer, like if you know control plus v is equal to paste, then you might pass it. Then you can pass it easily, because that course doesn't involve like lot of coding. It involves actually, but the coding is really easy. They actually try to ask you all the same questions which they have taught you in class, but I would say that don't rely on what I am saying about studies, because I completed my studies, most of my studies online. Like, I just went to college for 3 months, and rest of the 3 semesters I completed online. So online studies, if I tell you about my online studies, like how the studies went. So if I tell you, like, leave the 3 4 professors which were appearing again and again in like 3 of the semesters, and I don't even remember name of all of my professors. I never even remember like how they used to look, because I never have been in any online class. Like, I never attended any online class from past year. They used to just go like that because there was no attendance, no online attendance. I used to appear in test. I used to appear in test. I used to give my labs at time. So I just completed all of my assignments and I got passed very easily. However, if I talk about those 3 months when I was in college, I had to study little bit, but not that much. And the hardest subject which I found was maths, and that was like easy maths, like plus minus simple thing, how to calculate average, mean, median, mode, that kind of things, which you learn in like 4th 5th grade in India. So yeah, this was about college. And that college, I would say, is actually really nice place to be. It is not like all the other colleges in Canada, because all the other colleges make study really hard. You might fail up in 2 3 subjects at least before completing your studies, because but most of my classmates, they passed. I don't even remember name of any single person who failed in any subject right now. So yeah, the studies are really easy, the college is really easy, the fees is not that too much. It is like 8,000 a semester, which is like really average if you are studying in Canada, if you are not studying in Quebec, because Quebec colleges are different kind of situation. They open anytime and they might close anytime, so you never can rely on them. The St. Lawrence College is a government college with the DLI number, so you always know that if you pass your studies, you will get your work permit there. So yeah, this was all about my college. I had been getting lots of questions about my college. If someone has some specific questions they want to ask, they can write them down in comment section, and I will hopefully answer them as soon as I can. You can also reach me on my Instagram. My Instagram handle is appearing right now here. So yeah, this was all from my side, and now I will show you. I ended up making this video. So this was my stand, and that stone is where I placed my phone, and this is the view. So see you guys later on. I hope you end up being here and you end up being at such a nice places to make your YouTube videos. Thank you very much.
I was up and about, ready to go out, but then I thought, man, what's the point? There are roads filled light, tears are running fast, still apathy is all I've got. And I know it's hard to keep up sometimes, and I know I just want to make things right. But as the sun goes down and shadows go